Cutting edge guests, awesome, uncensored, jaw-dropping information, plus funny memes, good deeds, and loads of laughter. Kind of have it all. Ladies and gentlemen, if your soul's awake, then welcome, because you're in the right place. What's up, time, you divine lions and lionesses? 25% off LifeWave, in case you missed it, has been going on since Thursday. So we're going to cover it off here, including William Shatner, Captain Kirk giving his approval. Yes, the very man, if you haven't seen the video, world's largest intern. It's time to have a little bit of fun here on this Saturday of the long weekend. These are MAHA approved. They're here now to help mankind across Earth to ascend, to heal, and reverse aging as well. So I'm going to cover off all of the patches and the bundles up to 25% off LifeWave during this Black Friday sale. Join me in the live chat, the live stream, and if you can't, no problem. You'll see this recording after the fact, and enjoy. We're getting after it. And here we go. It's Saturday, November the 29th. I'm Brad Wozni, your host, and we're going to keep this pretty brief, but very powerful and get right after it. So welcome back, all of you, to Black Friday special with LifeWave. These are the biggest deals of the year here, as with everything. And a couple of really key elements. Number one, 8 years ago, U.S. Thanksgiving, what I was doing then, man, it is very different compared to what I'm doing now, especially 10 years ago in 2015. If you all remember, I was run over on my motorcycle. So the SUV, she had purposely ran the stop sign because she said to the RCMP she was late for her tennis appointment. 3 witnesses saw her T-bone me on my motorcycle as I was going down the intersection legally, lawfully, and she just raced right through it, didn't bother checking. I went up onto the windshield, right shoulder, head, everything catapulted across 3 lanes. Thank God no other opposite traffic hit me. It was early in the morning in Kelowna, BC, and slammed into a fire hydrant. And they say, and I didn't know this because knock on wood, I hadn't broken any bones in my life at that point, and haven't, still knock on wood, that ripping tendons and tissue is far worse than a broken bone. You can mend a broken bone a lot faster. So at that time, I was still a resident of America and living in Vail, Colorado in the Vail Valley. So what do? After a week, they've packaged me up. And by the way, I was spine boarded and I was taken over to the Kelowna General Hospital, KGH. They closed down Pandosy Avenue, 2 lanes of traffic each direction for hours because they were certain with the level of the crash, because she T-boned me, trapped my ankle underneath the bumper. Then as my BMW 1200cc adventure bike tipped up on its side with its boxer engine, she drove up on top of it, couldn't move anymore with her SUV. I was on the windshield and catapulted off it. Massive injuries all across the right side of my body. Plus, when I was slammed on the pavement coming off, which then released my trapped ankle underneath her bumper, then I slammed immediately onto my back and then my helmet. But I was wearing an airbag vest. And the surgeon who saw me in the ER at Kelowna General Hospital said, without that airbag vest, you would have died 2 times minimum. Number one, from a snapped neck, because the moment that I was projected off the bike and my back hit the pavement, my legs came right over, would have snapped my neck if I didn't have the airbag vest on my motorcycle. And the second one was the airbag vest acted as a cushion because of the trauma of the impact. He said my brain would have hit the impact of my skull so fast that it would turn to mush, instant death. So I'm a very adventurous guy, but I also always leverage the best of the best gear as well when I'm riding and I'm ripping. And I've fortunately been on adventure motorcycling on 3 continents now, Europe, South America, and North America. And it's just awesome. Sometimes you're living off the big old adventure bike, 500 pounds for days on end. And the most I've ever done was 10 days on end. And why is that relevant to right now? Because in 2015, and I'm wearing the shirt right here, 2015, when I was flown back to Vail, Colorado, and again, I'm in a wheelchair. I have my PCL, posterior cruciate ligament. I had my labrum completely, nearly all shredded based on the MRI scans and a whole bunch of other stuff, right side of my body is what she came into me on. Is that I was with the greatest orthopedic surgeons on the planet at Howard Head Sports Medicine and Vail Summit Orthopedics in Vail Valley Medical Centers. Now, Howard Head Sports Medicine, the shirt I'm wearing, were the incredible physiotherapists who got me going again. And because it was an insurance claim, because she admitted fault, because the witnesses said, yeah, she just came barreling through and she smacked that guy. We all thought he was dead. And we closed the intersection and we thought we were going to have to arrest her for involuntary manslaughter. Of course, I didn't technically walk away, but I wasn't dead and I had no broken bones because everything was kept together with the incredible gear that I wore, except a lot of other problems, right? Now, those problems are relevant to today because the orthopedic surgeons there, best in the world, and the guy who operated on Tiger Woods and put his spine back together and did Lindsey Vonn's knee not once but twice, and she went back and won more World Cup championship alpine skiing wins, was my guy. And so here I am, I'm about to go in because I was in an incredible amount of pain. I had refused the massive painkillers that they wanted to prescribe to me. And when I looked them up online and I saw what was going to happen just right before the very first surgery, and they said, you're going to probably need a you are going to need a PCL transplant. That was without issue. They said, there's no way those things heal or they regrow back, your PCL. And then it goes all the way from your hip through your knees to your ankle. And then all of your other stuff and your other tendons and everything. And he told me, this is best of the best in the world, that within 3 to 4 years after the 2, 3, or 4 surgeries, minimum 2, probably 3, at best 4, that I would get 70% of my life back to where I was, snowboarding, snowmobiling, skiing, and adventure motorcycling, which is pretty big when you're throwing around a 500-pound bike before gas, before oil, before anywhere of 40 to 80 pounds of gear, ripping it through, off-road trails, Moab, Utah, other places, and, going on hundreds and hundreds of mile rides a day on pavement to then go to dirt. And I'm like, I'm not taking that. But I looked up what Oxycontin was, because that was the pain prescription that they were going to give to me, because I had to lay, this was what he was saying, for 3 months on my back minimum, and 12 hours a day I would be strapped my right leg to a perpetual motion machine. And I'm like, that sounds terrible. And he said the pain is typically excruciating. That's why we prescribe Oxycontin. So I looked it up, and this is when I looked at chemical weapons, and I adhered to Gregory Mascari, who's been on the show here. And he said, chemical weapons and surgical strikes are no way to heal a human body. 100% agree. You don't heal from chemical weapons, pharmaceutically prescribed chemicals. You don't heal, right? They abate, they turn things off. You don't heal from surgical strikes, but they put things back together so that you can then allow that to heal and be in there and mending things, right? So I looked at it, I said, no way. So I started a PT program, which was post-op, as if I had it. And 2 years later, I was almost at the point in time where I was before that. And fast forward 3.5 years later, they brought me back to all the doctors to finally close the case, to kind of get this like minimal payment out, because it was in British Columbia, even though I was in America living there in Vail Valley. So what's all this great about? Well, so great about this moment on Black Friday, Brad. Well, because if I had had this wearable medbed technology 100%, I would have had probably 5 to 10 times faster healing. And we know from the orthopedics who work with us on our team, who are leveraging these LifeWave patches, and the doctors and neurosurgeons as well with their patients, they're literally having what I call radical healing miracles, because it's about frequency. So just like Albert Einstein said, the medicine of the future will be frequency medicine, and that future is now. And that is why I'm so excited to share these LifeWave patches with you, because what I've had are incredible healing. So many, you can look down in the description, you can see the links. It's up to 25% off everything right now, and even 30% off is my best discount I can give you for X39. And I'm going to go through every single one of these patches and what they do, right? Fully compliant when I'm speaking here on YouTube, Rumble, everything, because they are absolutely best in class. In fact, the inventor, David Schmidt, who now has 200 patents to his name, is one of the most prolific inventors in America. And on top of that, William Shatner is our spokesperson. So without further ado, in 10 seconds, 15 seconds, I'm going to go to the William Shatner clip that everybody loves. In case you haven't seen it, you'll see this for the first time. But in case you missed it, what the very first core patch that you want to have, minimum, if this is all you can do, is X39. Why? Because X39 is patented to reverse aging, and all of this is available all around the world, almost 100 countries right now. Full support from me, our team, and the best and the brightest in the lands, all the way up to the top of the company, if and when it comes to be. So here it is, the size of a quarter. It's as thin as a few hairs. It's literally, I call it the sticker. And again, it's like acts like a satellite dish. So nothing goes in your body. It's a 3M medical adhesive for a sticker. You put it typically, I wear it right between the shoulder blades where the neck meets, called the C7 ley line or meridian line on the energy body, the human body. Put it there, wear it for 12 hours a day, 12 on, 12 off, because of attenuation. We'll talk about that as we move on. So links are right here below the chat. And now you're going to see, because when I first had this experience 2 years ago with my healing miracle, because after all of this, even though I was snowboarding, skiing again, jumping out of airplanes, motorcycling again, jet skiing, leaping waves with my motocross helmet again, and I was in better shape 3.5 years after being run over than I was before it, because of what I've learned from the great PTs at Howard Head Sports Medicine. I didn't have this technology, and I still had what's called a frozen right shoulder. And every now and then, that shoulder would lock up and my pain would go to a 9 or a 10. And if any of you have been in a 10 out of 10 pain, that's where you're literally asking God to take your life, right? And twice I've had 10 out of 10 pain. Typically it was 8 or 9 out of 10. And in order to drive, I'd have to use my left hand to grab my right, lift it up because I was in such severe pain, hold the steering wheel and drive. Well, I was gifted these patches 2 years ago by an amazing man and his family and team and wife, Michael Jacob, I've had on the show many times. He said, give it a shot. And I gave it a shot. And I put on the LifeWave patch, which is the pain patch. And on this very watch, timed it in 2 minutes and 57 seconds. So think about this. This is 8 years. I've been living with this chronic pain, being told there's no way to handle it. You have it for the rest of your life. Locked up shoulder. It is what it is. Keep doing what you're doing, but nobody can solve it. Surgery can't even solve it. In 2 minutes and 57 seconds, my pain went from a 9 out of 10 to a 1. And less than 10 minutes later, it was gone. All because of these patches. And I know a lot of people watching and listening, you're living in pain right now. And so X39 and LifeWave, I'm going to break it all down for you. But again, you can go to that link, catchlifewave.com. You can scan the thing up here. It's 100% money back guarantee, up to 25% off and 30% off right now on X39 through the link that you see. Now, without further ado, William Shatner. Why is it? Because I said, this is Star Trek, man. Like, called them on the phone. Like, what are you? Holy cow, my pain's gone. Everybody, the best of the best in the world, the best and the best physiotherapists, Howard Head Sports Medicine in Vail, Colorado. You know, the top Tigers doctor, Lindsey Vaughn's orthopedic surgery. No, it's never going to be, you're going to be this the rest of your life. That's it. Take this prognosis. It's unfortunate. It is what it is. And I'm like, well, I'm a Reiki master. I went vegan for 4.5 years to heal my body, get myself back up. By the way, I'm about to eat a cowboy steak in about an hour. So I'm no longer vegan, but there's no problem if you are. It's totally cool. And this changed my life. It gave me a second lease on life. So I can surf better now. I can do so much more. I can do HIIT Pilates. Men, you should be doing HIIT Pilates as well in case you're doing any extreme sports. It's very, very key to put into your workout and plyometrics regimen. But after that, beyond that, this changed my life. And then I've had other incredible healing miracles. You heard about it regrowing my molar. And that's backed up by studies at University of Alberta by a professor that proved you can regrow teeth with frequency. So this, let frequency be thy medicine. This is it. That's why I said it's like Star Trek. And I remember telling Michael Jago back then 2 years ago, going, this is freaking Star Trek technology. I remember Dr. Beverly Crusher, I think it was Geordie LaForge, came in on an episode, broke his arm or something, and she went, arm's done, no problem. Back it goes to engineering. Well, guess what? Even better than that is Captain Kirk. With the inventor, David Schmidt, with all these patches, the most prolific inventor in America right now living. He was nicknamed Spock in college, and one of his childhood heroes was Captain Kirk, William Shatner, good old Canadian. Here it is. Enjoy this, everybody. We'll be right back after this. I'll be watching along with you. Again, I've seen this like 5-6 times. I love it each time. This is William Shatner and the world's oldest intern. I said largest in the reel in the intro. I said it's Saturday. We're having fun. Oldest intern. Enjoy.
I've lived a long life. I've done a lot of things, but I've never been an intern.
I'm the founder, sure, but I'm also an inventor. My latest experiment? Hire William Shatner, but as an intern. No way I can afford that guy full-time.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I'm going to be your trainer for today.
Hi, Alicia. Hi, Alicia.
William Shatner?
Yeah, well, you can call me Bill. Or intern. Sorry to interrupt.
No, that's just fine. Today I'm going to be taking you on a tour of our Welcome Center.
I hear they have something like a captain's bridge in the Welcome Center. Feels like you're traveling through space.
I have an award-winning production designer
This I gotta see.
for decades. And hey, Bill.
No, please, no sci-fi today. I'm just here as an intern, that's it. I just beamed in. Yeah, I know that look. I get that look whenever I sneak around, and you're sneaking. Go away. I'm busy. Jackpot. You didn't see a thing. People gotta see this.
Bill, who let you in here?
He let me in here.
Bill? Captain?
Oh, you gotta get out here. The old intern who looks an awful lot like me, he's messing things up.
But wait, aren't you?
Yeah, it's a sci-fi thing. Come on.
Oh, excuse me. David, was that? Is that in budget?
Oh,
There you are. Come on. Back to the group.
people gotta see this.
I know. It's a part of the tour.
Oh,
Yeah.
are you ready for me? Doug. Bill? Doug? Bill. Doug. Bill. For goodness.
You know Doug?
Do I know Doug? Star Trek designer on props and sets and the spaceships and this?
Came out beautifully, huh?
Oh, Doug is...
Hey, Bill,
Oh,
one of your clones said you're causing trouble.
you're taking the word of a clone?
Personally, I always go with the original.
That's a good idea.
I have a question. Are you really going to be an intern here?
But, yeah, why not? But first, I gotta tell you about the Welcome Center here at the LifeWave offices.
Okay, this is a commercial. Got it.
No. It's a kind of soft sell. No, just a simple suggestion, really. Copy this QR code to learn about LifeWave, its products, and their amazing welcome center, and that's it. I had a great time experiencing their amazing life-changing technology and learning about the opportunities surrounding one of the fastest-growing companies on the planet, and you will too. So check them out, and just tell them Bill sent you, the real Bill, not that sci-fi clone. Oh, okay. Hey, duty calls. Back to interning. Bye-bye.
Oh man, this is so amazing. I thought you guys, I hope you all had a laugh at that. I always do, every single time. And what's also cool about this, let me take this off the screen here for a moment. Thank you everybody for standing by. Is just, boy, let's see, 22 days ago, on November 7th, it's 29th right now, that the X39, which I showed you earlier, right here, along with what's called Cellergize AM, it won the Stem Cell Innovation of the Year Award in 2025 Biotech's Breakthrough Awards Program. So here's what's amazing about this. There were 15,000 submissions around the world. Yeah, we can help with stem cells. We can do this, we can do that. And this again is au naturel. Au naturel, right? So what is Cellergize AM? I've told you about X39. If you're brand new here, once again, it's patented, U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to reverse aging naturally. So let me discuss how that works. And I'm going to back up a moment to give you a little bit more context. All right. You see this bracelet? This is my Tibetan healing bracelet. Now, it's actually from Tibet. It is a Tibetan healing bracelet. And it is something that I purchased for myself from a wonderful Buddhist monk. Now, what do you have in here? You have brass, steel, and copper. What do we know about copper? We know, do you guys remember in the 80s or they had all those infomercials about the copper bracelets and people's arthritis going away and they could golf better? Yeah, why? So it turns out that when we have copper close to us or on our body, or you're drinking out of a copper still because it charges water better, or you have copper pipes instead of plastic and lead pipes in your home and your community, it upgrades water. Copper activates copper peptides in our bloodstream. We have copper peptides. One of the peptides we have is copper. So isn't it amazing then that before the blue blockers came out, copper bracelets were going incredible. People were noticing effects and they could sleep better. Because of the frequency, because copper against the skin, it was found, you can look at half a century's worth of published data on copper peptides from PubMed.org to NIH.gov. Yeah, the NIH, even they admit all this stuff, right? You've got the studies and so much more, thousands around the world. The power of copper peptides in our bloodstream. So what does the X39 do? The X39 took 5 years in development by David Schmidt to figure a way that he can weave a certain pattern, like under a microscope, you can see the pattern of the weaving technology in here. Nothing invasive, which means nothing's injected in your body. And it basically just acts like a satellite dish. It's an antenna for a frequency we put out called biophototherapy. This is an FDA approved medical device, which is a big thing for saying that this sticker activates your copper peptides. And what we know about that is once your copper peptides are activated, it creates a supply chain reaction to awaken all of your stem cells. And with this X39 and Cellergize, which is a lemonade supplement, we've got the lemonade flavor in here with your water. My goodness, when you have that together, that activates your stem cells in 1/3 of your genome. So you're restoring your DNA right here. Stem cells. We're all a stem cell when we begin. Mom and dad, sperm fertilized egg, boom, God molecule. Beautiful, incredible explosion of white light. If you've ever seen the benevolent videos of this, it's truly magical because that's the spark for all of us. And from that blueprint of our stem cells, which is the DNA blueprint of Brad's going to have kind of bluish green eyes and, you know, dirty blonde hair. You might have blonde hair. You might have dark skin, whatever. And then once you activate your stem cells, like Dr. Pamela Lewin, MD, who we work with 40 years, said, if it built you, it will heal you. So what's amazing is if you're doing X39 and Cellergize, which is amazing, links in the promo, right? Because of the freaking Black Friday sale, it's awesome. Then the stem cells immediately go to heal your heart, your mind, and your lungs. And we know a lot of people have problems with focus and mental clarity these days. We know that people have had a lot of, especially in the flu shot season they're promoting, have a lot of problems with pneumococcal viruses, airborne things, getting a cough, and need to be aware. And they have some issues there as well as heart issues, most especially these last 6 years we're going into now with what they've done to us in the world. So amazing for this little cheap price, this incredible technology, which David has required. All the prices have stayed the same for the last 10 years. Nothing has went up. Everything else has went up that we've seen. This has not. So that's incredible. Now, what's really cool, and then I'm also going to roll to a message with David, is X39, if you want to, because I said I go patch by patch. So X49 activates a peptide called alanine in our body. I really could have used this when I was going through physiotherapy and healing my body at Howard Head Sports Medicine in Vail, Colorado for month after month after month. But this wasn't out back then 10 years ago or 9 years ago or 8 years ago. It is now. When you activate the alanine peptide, that helps you rapidly regrow things like muscle tissue, but especially tendons. So if a guy like me with all of my stuff, and for those people, maybe cartilage, X49. So what's cool about this is right now there is a full 25% off this bundle. So when you go to the link on your screen, I'll put it up here, catchthelifewave.com, and you go to the store, you will find the promotional bundles. It'll come up right now. So you just take a moment, open it in another browser, and just hit the link that's underneath the description or type in catchthelifewave.com. You'll find that. That goes to me. You'll see the show. You'll see my name. And you've got X39, X49, and Energy Enhancer as a bundle, a full 25% off these guys. Incredible, right? What the Energy Enhancer is, it's the very first patch if you've never seen the show before. So this was developed for the Navy SEALs 21 years ago by David Schmidt. And what it did in the Black Ops project, they specified they wanted to keep these guys both awake and they couldn't go underwater in their SDV teams, the swimmer delivery vehicles, and run reconnaissance on enemy installations for 2 to 3 days at a time. So what could we do? So he developed Energy Enhancer, which burns the fat into fuel and keeps us awake. So think about this. The clinical studies prove that Energy Enhancer will burn 23% of your body fat far more efficiently. So who could use a little bit extra energy plus wants to shred bad fat, convert it into usable energy? So that's what this bundle is all about right there. And by the way, just with X39 and X49 worn together, the clinical studies show just from those two, a direct decrease of 11% body fat in 8 weeks with everybody who was in that study. And those who were working out had a double minimum. They doubled their strength in 8 weeks. So here we are, pretty powerful stuff. Let me continue on here. We just talked about 49. There's another bundle if you want. And what you've got in this bundle is the LifeWave. Now this LifeWave patch, I'll pull this for a moment so you can see. Again, they all come in these 1 month sleeves, envelopes, right? There's a 30-day supply, 1 month supply in all of them. This is the pain patch that took my shoulder pain away, the frozen shoulder where it was a 9 out of 10 and dropped it down to a 1 out of 10 in 2 minutes and 57 seconds. This is 2 years ago when I was told by the greatest experts in the world, they only know enough in what they know. So I'm not throwing any of them under the bus. They're incredible people there. They said there's no way you could fix that. You're going to be in pain the rest of your life. You just got to figure out a pain management, blah, blah, blah. And that's what it was until LifeWave came into my life. And the LifeWave patch, put it on, it makes your pain go away. And what happens, again, it's a frequency patch. So it shifts away the frequency of pain from that site. Typically, the clinical studies, there was a 40% decrease in pain almost instantly on everybody in the clinical study. For me, it was far more. You go from 9 to a 1 in less than 3 minutes. That's massive. And then it was gone 10 minutes later. So I always carry LifeWave. It's a good thing to have in your first aid kit. So if you have a vehicle, any types of vehicles, motorcycles, and a first aid kit, you know, the very first thing you need to do is treat the trauma and then get people out of pain, because you don't want them to go in shock. Plus, you want them more relaxed and calm, which allows for healing and then also give better critical care to them, right? So this bundle, once again, is a full 25% off. That's X39, LifeWave, and Energy Enhancer together. That's on the store when you go over there too. What you can also do is the Y-Age system. What's the Y-Age, you ask? Well, I'll take a sip of my Cellergize. I'll tell you. In the Y-Age system, you have a patch called Aloe Vera. And the Aloe Vera patch activates the collagen in your skin. So for the shows that you can see, which I've been doing, yeah, my wrinkles are pretty much disappeared, non-existent, far more youthful look. Yeah, from X39, that's the building block to everything. You want to awaken your stem cells with Cellergize AM. You activate them all and a third of your genome, right? This is what we can say. With the Aloe Vera, you wear X39 and Aloe Vera, there you go. Now you're kicking in the good collagen in your skin that gives you that young, lighter, youthful look. Very, very powerful. So this is also, excuse me, very incredible for those who have had any type of surgery whatsoever, or those who want to look more youthful. You have Aeon and the carnosine, excuse me, what did I just say? Aloe Vera, right? And the glutathione. The glutathione is pretty cool because if anybody's having problems breathing, and this is also part of a, not an official protocol, but one thing you want to do is the glutathione patch will increase glutathione production by 300% in your body. Now your body's doing this. This is the amazing thing. It's literally just having the right frequency that helps activate the peptide, awakens it, stimulates it to immediately start activating that which you already have to produce more of it. So 300% increase in glutathione, which we all know is very good for the body, the blood production. You also saw a carnosine patch, and carnosine is really key. And we've heard many of the doctors that we have on our team discuss this for heart issues for people. So it increases the ability to rebuild tissue a lot faster. And that's basically, for the most part, what I can say at this moment in time. The clinical studies we've had cardiologists who have done clinical studies in their clinic, not from the company, their clinic. They have seen incredible results in the healing of injuries when used carnosine with X39. So again, X39 is always that foundational patch, and then carnosine specific to skin and muscle tissue, rebuilding it far faster. So the organs of our body are skin and muscle tissue, cartilage. It can help with that as well. And I'll just leave it there. And once again, like we say in every one of our shows, and this is not substitute whatsoever for diagnosis, pain medical treatment. I've never been a doctor. There's nothing here is medical, financial, legal, spiritual, astral travel, underwater 14-minute breath hold while free diving, which some people have done. I've only got to 3 minutes. And levitation or mermaid summoning advice. I've tried summoning mermaids like this. It hasn't worked, so I know. But if you do, let me know. That would be really cool. And then a real final one, which is very powerful for people who are having issues with sugary cravings, is SP6. Now, I call this the hormone patch because it actually activates a peptide in your body when worn on a particular place in your body. And right now I have one, it's just down below my ankle, the inside of your ankle. Can't remember what the name of the spot is, but it shows you the instructions. When you order it, you have it. You have our team text, email, phone, Zoom support, and 100% money back guarantee. Yes, even with these discounts. The SP6 also massively reduces sugary cravings. So we've had a lot of people who have reported maybe they've had an addiction to soda, or as Canadians and Brits would call it, pop, right? The Coke, the Fanta, the Sprite, they just can't get off that. Maybe they have sugary cravings with their coffee. They like a lot of heavy sweeteners in it. And fairly quickly, in a matter of days, and typically just weeks, people no longer are drawn to those sugary cravings because it's helped with a hormonal balance in their body. And as you and I both know, and you could basically be as smart as a ninth grader and figure this one out, when your hormones are balanced once again, a lot of other things work better, including sleep. We're going to finish this off now. And thank you all for being here. It's just awesome. So I'm covering off the gist of the questions which we typically get in here. And it's great to see future guests that you're in Montreal. That's awesome. We have Queensland, Australia. We have another Aussie in the chat. So we've got a bunch of Aussies in here, and fantastic. And you have the ability to get this for free. After you start leveraging it, you share 3 or 4 times, then all of a sudden you're getting free product. So that's on our brand partner side. Basically, you're a brand ambassador, right? And that's pretty cool. So you have the ability to do that, and it's only $25 one time each year to be able to share that and have a link like I have. And then you get free product with a few people purchasing through you. How great is that? How many people would want their free product on top of it? So you get started, you're doing it for yourself, taking advantage of these today. And I'll go over here to this amazing video with the man who created this. So you have a comprehension of how his mission is aligned with the mission for my soul, and which is why I say that this gives people a second lease on life. I'm a testimonial. You just heard this story, and we have thousands upon thousands and thousands of testimonials from people of all walks of life, young and old, all around the world. And here it is, David Schmidt in his own story, his own words rather, telling you his story.
In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. There is more information there than most people would ever realize. I was 8 years old, and my parents wanted to take me to the workshop of Thomas Edison. On the drive back home, I said to my dad, I want to be an inventor. Light, as it turns out, is the primary control mechanism for everything else that happens in the body. What if we could have an external electromagnetic field that would essentially reset the stem cells that are already in our bodies and get them to function like younger, healthier cells? What if in the process we actually found out that in a book that was written thousands of years ago, that information already existed? God has left his fingerprint in natural design, and that blueprint shows up in nature. The mathematical codes are identical. The implications to this are absolutely extraordinary. What drives me is that there's this enormous sense of hope that we can create technology to generate clean energy, that we can have foods that aren't genetically modified, and we can meet all of the needs on the planet that we have to, and that we can heal people.
It's truly amazing. I get these God bumps that go up my back every time I see that video. And even over in our chat, we have Susie and Rumble saying, I get chills listening to David. Good chills. Absolutely. As you can see from the testimonials, just a few of them under the description, we have Sergeant Jim, who is a U.S. Marine Corps retired combat veteran of Vietnam, who had pain for 50 years. So I had it for 8 years, chronic pain, you heard from me, and it was gone in 2 minutes and 57 seconds, and it's all natural. Like, what wouldn't you give for that? I mean, if I had a couch or I had a car that I had to sell and somebody said for 20 grand, Brad, you can get rid of this chronic pain, I'd figure a way. Turned out it was like $70. Holy smokes for that sleeve of LifeWave. So this sergeant says my decades of pain were gone in a few days. So mine for 8 years took roughly 2 minutes and 57 seconds to go 9 to 1, and then another 10 minutes. It was gone. So really, in 19 minutes, my 8 years of pain was gone with one LifeWave application patch. And for this sergeant who spent half a century in chronic pain, his pain was gone in a few days, all from the power of the patch. And you can see you have Colonel Sellers, been on the show here many times, amazing man in service, who said if I was still in as the deputy commander of Delta Force, which is how he retired, that's one rank below a general. He said if I was still in, I would issue all of these patches to every man and woman under my command, because he had his own healing miracles with this as well. It's truly magical. I invite you all. And the last Cellergize AM plus PM are available as supplements. So what you get for the AM version, which has replaced many people actually drinking coffee to try to hydrate them, which you don't really hydrate with coffee, but they try to wake themselves up and get going in the morning, they turn to coffee. Cellergize AM, many people are reporting now they're no longer craving coffee, going to coffee. They're going to good natural water and the lemon flavored Cellergize AM supplement when they put their X39 on, with all the incredible natural ingredients, real natural ingredients that are in there. And you can read about all of that at the site. And then Cellergize PM, drink a glass of it with your favorite natural water, living water, an hour before bedtime, and have an even greater, deeper, relaxed sleep. Thank you all for being here, and thanks very much for being on the Sovereign Soul Show. Appreciate all of you. This community is truly amazing, and I'm really excited to see the growth of all of you Sovereign Souls everywhere. And for those of you who have just taken the opportunity and jumped on this, wonderful. You hear from myself and my team, because you get a welcome letter, emails, get our text for phone calls, not outward us to you. You can reach back to us, and we plug you right in to get you going on your healing miracles too. And if you so choose, to be an ambassador and help other people and share the light. See you soon. Thanks for joining us on the program, ladies and gentlemen. Please like, follow, subscribe, share this with 9 friends and family. And of course, if you enjoy our blinged Buddha firing red pills from his 9mm, let us know.